let me say, life is a journey. My story is untold. But there's a beginning, must be an end. A dwelling possibility and look how everyone sees that moment because life is a journey. Just live your dreams. After 6 months, I got adopted and I moved from the country area into the city. Now, when I moved into the city, I moved into a very large house. That house had about 6 bedrooms. It had even an outside bedroom and bathroom, and had a swimming pool in the back that I had access to, which didn't belong to me, but it belonged to the residents behind me. But because they had to build a higher wall, and I agreed. Well, my father agreed that they could build the wall. So I made a deal with them and said, listen, if you're gonna build a wall, I would love to have access to your pool. So these people actually granted me access to their pools. I had a pool basically all my life. I had a swimming pool. It wasn't mine, but I was able to use it. I was able to keep party there. I would invite friends over, and it was fun. It was fun for me. It was great, right? So what happened is that I was about, from what I can remember, my first birthday party, inclusive of my stepfather now, had about he had about four kids, I believe, and he had two other kids from my side of family as well, who were just there as support, I should say, not for me but for the entire family. My auntie, which I never knew she was my aunt, I never knew the other guy was my uncle, so it's a bit confusing. So my uncle and auntie was living with me for several years, but I didn't know they were my uncle and my auntie. I wasn't meant to know that they were my uncle and auntie. So they're my real father's brother and sister. But I never felt the connection of family with them because they didn't treat me any better than anyone else. Or, I did get some, there was times where I thought these people hate me. But at the end of the day, I was about 4 year old. I can start from when I was about four. But between age 6 months and 4 year old, there's not much I can do for myself. I'm like a prince. Someone has to change my diaper, someone has to feed me, someone has to clothe me, someone has to wipe my bum. At the end of the day, I was a prince between the age of 6 months to 4 years old. Cause my grandaunt, who is my mother, because she adopted me, she now becomes my mother. But I wasn't aware of that until I reached the age of 14. I realized that the two people living with me was my auntie and uncle, and my now mother was actually my grandmother, sister, which is my grand aunt. She was married to this guy who, he had a job, he had a business, he had a bit of money, and it was very helpful to me. I was living in this house with three all station dog, one named Jesse, who was blind, German Shepherd. He was blind. There was another one called Ocean and Cheyenne. Now, Jesse was my dog, well, pretty much, but he was blind. I don't know. I ended up getting a blind dog. My brothers and sisters ended up moving in, which my stepbrothers and sisters. My dad and my mom, stepmom, they didn't get along at one point, so my mom moved away when I was age 4. So my grand aunt, who is meant to take me in because she can't have kids, ended up basically walking away from me for 14 years. So she was in my life for 14 years. But the benefits of those 14 years is that I always got 100 US on my birthday and 100 US on my in Christmas. So I get 200 US a year for 18 years. Well, no, correction. I'll get $200 a year for 14 years. Right? Now, as a 4 year old, you still have no clue what's going on, what's happening. So I ended up going to I went to Shortwood, Providence Primary, and Providence Basic School between the age of kindergarten to 4 year old, where I end up in grade 1 at age 5. Now, at age 5, I was at Providence Primary when I end up transferring my stepdad after my mom walked away. At the time, I didn't know why. And then I found out later on because they had a big argument about his kids and baby mom this, baby mom that, and You know, he had a child with a woman before they got married and had another child with the same woman after they got married. So I understand her pain and everything, and you know, she wasn't thinking about me for 1 second because she was so hurt, you know. So there was nothing to forgive. I understand people's pain. When you're in pain, you're in pain, and there was no love connection. Knowing that she's only been in my life for a few years, and I'm not her child, so she walked away. And my dad, basically my stepdad, he ended up being the one to support me. But funny enough, she walked away. He decided that he doesn't want to raise me, so he sent me to go live with his brother. Funny enough, his brother lives on a farm. He has goats, he has pigs, he has chickens. You know, he's got a fruit garden with oranges, stuff like that. So all these stuff, you know, he's got, and he's got a swimming pool, but the swimming pool is never clean, and there's a reason for that. This guy, he's got money. He's got a bit of money. He's not rich, but he's got money. You know, he used to go to the hotel and swimming pool with his kids. You know, give them the life that I would never dream of having. Right. So I ended up getting sent to. I ended up being sent to back to the country where I was about 5 years old. I can remember that it was yesterday.